The president toured a biotech company working on a coronavirus vaccine in North Carolina this afternoon. He also held a coronavirus briefing there. Vice President Mike Pence also traveled to the battleground state of Florida today. He went to Miami to participate in a roundtable with Governor Ron DeSantis as researchers enter phase 3 testing on a coronavirus vaccine. Leslie Sanchez and Lynda Tran join me now. Leslie is a CBS News political analyst and Republican strategist, and Lynda is a CBSN political contributor and Democratic strategist. Welcome, Leslie and Lynda. So wonderful to see you both. Lynda, let me start with you. This has been an unprecedented election cycle for many reasons. How much do you think the response to the coronavirus pandemic is going to influence voters?
Well, Elaine, there's no question that voters are worried about what's next when it comes to the coronavirus pandemic. That there's not a day that goes by when we're not seeing numbers go up. And in recent weeks, as you know, the numbers have reached somewhat of a high and stayed there. So you would fully expect that as people are thinking about who they want to lead this country moving forward, coronavirus will be top of mind. Not unrelated, of course, is the economic pain that millions of Americans around the country are continuing to face as a result of the fallout from the pandemic. And poll after poll show that these are issues that are certainly going to factor into their decisions as they head to the ballot box or put their ballot in the mailbox this fall.
So given all that, Leslie, at this point, what is the messaging from the Trump campaign? What is the pitch to voters? And are there any signs that it's working?
The biggest pitch, Elaine, is going to be the pitch the president has continued to make even before the coronavirus pandemic, and that is the economy. He's going to say that despite the economic downturn and the turn of events that he's had around the world, that the U.S. economy is strong. It's moving forward. You're seeing the markets stay resilient despite the fact it's been an extremely difficult time, very much what Lynda's talking about, personally in people's pocketbooks. And that's really going to be the question. If in these battleground states, people have confidence the president is doing the best he can, despite his leadership style and the numerous gaffes and hand-wringing that Republicans have about him and his leadership, if the economy is continuing to upswing, that's really where I think the dividing line is going to be on whether or not they stick with the Republican Party or look at a one candidate split ticket situation of a Biden at the top or not voting at all.
Interesting. Well, Lynda, on some issues, especially racial equality, polls show that the country has shifted to a more progressive point since 2016. With just 99 days until the election, has Joe Biden himself made that transition?
Well, you know, what's interesting, Elaine, is that many would say Joe Biden had been making the transition to a much more progressive stance for many years now, certainly being part of the Obama administration and championing many policies, including the expansion to health care for millions of Americans who now, of course, depend on it more than ever, and many, many other issues, not the least of which was gay marriage years ago. He's certainly been on this trajectory towards a more progressive vision of the world, and that's very much in line with where the country is moving. Most recently, we also saw him commit to a lot of money, tons of money towards addressing climate change in a way that one might not have expected before the 2020 cycle. So clearly, he's moving in the direction that the country is, and he's committed to issues that are going to be top of mind for people, not only at the ballot box this November, but for the many years to come.
Leslie, I also want to ask about the Senate this fall. Do Democrats have any chance to win back control of the Senate?
Democrats are in a very good position. They're certainly within striking distance for many more vulnerable Republicans. A lot of that has to do with the president does not have any coattails. You would think that, yes, this is a referendum on the president, but you're seeing a punitive response by many swing voters all the way down ballot, Elaine. And you heard, some of our own CBS analysis, polling analysis, talking about these traditional suburban swing voters who are really on the fence in terms of what they're looking at. They may take a significant look. They voted for Trump in 2016. They may take a significant look at a Democrat at the top of the ticket and may even vote straight ticket. There's a lot of movement among these swing voters, and that does jeopardize the Republican Senate.
All right, Election Day just around the corner. Leslie Sanchez and Lynda Tran, thank you both very much.